Hi everyone, happy Tuesday or whatever day it is, whenever you're watching this. I hope you're having a great day. I was just thinking to myself, what do I want to do with my future? Where do I want to be in 5, 10, 15 years? The future seems quite uncertain, not just my own life and where my life will take me, but the future of the world, the future of our government, of our countries. It's really uncertain, but I've been thinking to myself how every generation from the beginning of time has struggled with this uncertainty. And in the end, I would say we come out fine. I'm sure when people were living through World War I, they did not see a very bright future for themselves. When they lived through World War II and all of the insidious and atrocious things that happened during that time period, I'm sure a lot of people thought it was going to be the end of the world. When people were living through the Cold War, same thing. People thought they were going to get nuked, right? The Vietnam War, things seemed so uncertain. Then, years and I skipped the Nixon administration, right? Where that was really a tumultuous time period in American history. And I think American history in the last 200 years affects the world history as well. So anyway, every generation, every time period has gone through a series of tumultuous times, of turmoil, of uncertainty. And we think it's going to be the end of the world, and we think it's the end of times. Just like many people, many indigenous communities, thousands of years ago, believed it was the end of time with the events such as eclipses or solar events or blood moons. They thought it was going to be the end of the world, but of course, they just didn't have enough information to understand. Mayans did. Mayans were very smart when it comes to astronomy and everything they did with being able to capture and understand the movement of Venus and creating a solar calendar from that. And but that's a tangent, and that's a topic for a different day. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we live in uncertainty. We live in, quote unquote, the end of times because we don't have enough information and we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So when things seem vague, our future looks a bit nebulous, when our future seems uncertain, it's easy to, and I should add, if you're going through turmoil right now, or you're going through very hard times, or your country is going through very hard times, it's easy to assume that things will stay the same forever, and that things won't change, and things are just going to move into entropy, and everything is going to get destroyed. And yes, that might happen. I'm not going to say that that's not a possibility, but it's always important to remain hopeful. Hopeful not just for humanity, because we might destroy ourselves with our own actions, and the way we've been behaving for the last 200 years has been we've been quite belligerent and we've been we've been pretty selfish, especially once we began the Industrial Revolution and all of that. And we started incorporating capitalism. And I'm not saying that capitalism is bad. I'm not a socialist. I'm not a capitalist, like a full-blown capitalist. I see that both ideologies have their pros and cons, but both ideologies are subject to extremes. So capitalism is subject to extremes, just as socialism is subject to its extremes. But anyway, I guess I should talk about that in a different video. But we've been pretty selfish these last several hundred years, right? And we might disappear from the planet because we're not really, just like George Carlin said, the planet isn't going anywhere. We are, right? And that's true. We might exhaust all of the resources that the earth has to offer, but once we're gone, the earth will heal itself and it will recover and it will blossom and a different species will come about. Or, in 4 billion years, people predict that the sun will get large enough that it will engulf the earth, and so the earth will no longer exist. But anyway, I'm going on a bit of a tangent right now, but what I do want to say is that every generation has lived through the end of times, or believes that they're living through the end of times. But the truth of the matter is that I'm not saying that maybe this is the anomaly and this is actually the end of times, but it's important to remain hopeful even in the end of times. It's important to not give up and continue to be a better person and continue to shine a light into your community and do the best you can in your circle, in the circle of people that you surround yourself with. It's important not to give up and become an asshole, It's important to lead by example rather than stooping to people's level, stooping to those that are considered evil or considered bad in our society or take advantage of others. You're not going to stoop to their level or speak in their same rhetoric or act the same way just to retaliate, because that would mean that you are basically cut from the same cloth. And if you want to change, your world, and by your world I mean not just the people you surround yourself with in your environment, but also your own inner world, you have to lead by example. So, if we are living in the end of times, lead by example, be the beacon of hope in times of struggle, in times of strife, in times of pain, in times of suffering. So, I hope you are a beacon of light in your life and in the life of others. And I hope you have a great day. Peace and love. Bye.